Assalamualaikum and good day. My name is Ashraf Zahid bin Nordin, and today I will be presenting about my PSM2 entitled The Effect of Mechanical Parameters on the Passenger Vehicle Suspension System. So my supervisor is TS Dr. Narashid bin Manuri, and the examiner for panel 1 is Professor Madya TS Dr. Muhammad Zahid bin Hassan, and panel 2 is Encik Muhammad Hafizi bin Abdul Rahman. So these are some of the contents that we will look into in this slide. We have introduction, methodology, feature review, result and discussion, and lastly the conclusion. So for chapter 1, we will look into the introduction for this project. So the suspension system is basically a system that includes tires air pressure levels, spring, shock absorbers, and all the components that connects a vehicle to its wheels that allows the car to move. And the suspension system also play its role to support road holding, handling, ride quality, which every of them are odds with each other. The suspension system also important to maintain the stability of the car during on the road and any other motion, which is it is important for the suspension to keep the car always will be on the road in contact with the road surface as much as possible. The problem statements, the components condition and functionality of the vehicle suspension system is crucial for the suspension system to achieve sustained comfortability and steering stability during driving. The performability of the suspension system is depend on the various numbers of mechanical parameters and also depends on the human factors. So the aim of this research is to investigate the external mechanical parameters such as the tire pressure, the tire weight, and the load distribution, in which it could affect the performance of the suspension system. This this research also will uh, help to identify the ideal parameter setting in order to obtain an optimal performance of the vehicle suspension system. So the objectives of this research are as follows. The first one is to experimentally conduct an error test based on the effect of load distribution, tire pressure, and the tire weight. And then the second one to analyze the condition of the vehicle suspension system based on the adherent test results. The scope of study for this experiment is to focus on the conducting uh, the experiment, which is the adherent test, considering several parameters involved regarding the vehicle suspension system. This study also focus on finding the ideal condition and setting in order for the suspension system to perform maximally and integrate performability. Next, we will look into the chapter 2. It is about the So, on 2018, TOMA conducted a study on the influence of tire pressure towards the braking performance and the vehicle suspension system. The experiment was carried out by using a few set of numerical data of tire inflation pressure. The experiment finding shows that the tire pressure do affect the suspension ability, in which it creates errors that influence the rolling resistance of the vehicle. It is also found that the tire inflation pressure majorly affect the vehicle dynamics behavior, which also affect the passenger's comfortability and can also define the tire's reliability. Then the experiment also give a result in rolling resistance, as when the tire inflation increases, the pressure also decreases. The findings of the experiment shows an implementation of lower level of inflation pressure of tire can be said as a dangerous matter. Then another research was conducted by Hamid et al. In 2010, where he conducted a study uh, in which states that they state the correct inflation of tires pressures influence the vehicle handling, the passenger comfortability, and the braking condition. It is also claimed that the inflation tire pressure being affected that plays that contribute to the reduction of fuel efficiency and also the tire lifespan. A test they carried the experiment by using the mathematical model and experimental validation. A 7 degree of freedom model was developed using the MATLAB for a full car model system. The experiment was done with the different setting of inflation tire pressure, and then the analysis was carried out for each case regarding the performance of suspension. Some of the parameters highlighted in this study was the road handling, the ride comfort, and the stability of the vehicle in terms of vehicle suspension system. From the experiment, the result shows that the under-inflation tires do also affect the suspension system performance. Next, we will look into the chapter 3 about the methodology of the suspension system. So here in this project we have three methodology. The first one we have an adherent test, in which the experiment it is an experiment test which will be used to inspect the condition of the vehicle suspension system using the RAV RT202 testing machine, adherent testing machine. Then second one we have data sheet, in which sheet that will be used to collect the data in terms of adherent testing data. And then the last one we have the project flow chart. Project flow chart is basically about the sequence of project work or the working workflow in order to ensure the project is done according to the objective and also within the targeted time. So these are some of the features of the adherent testing machine. These are the flow chart for this project. And another one, these are the example of the data sheet for the tire pressure parameter record. So chapter 4, we will look into the result and discussion for this experiment. But first, we will look into the concept of the adherence. The value of adherence generated by the test will show the current condition of the suspension system. So the adherence system, if the reading is the adherence value we obtain from the test is 60% above, then the condition of the suspension system is good. And if the adherence value is between 20 to 60%, then the condition of the suspension system is considered as acceptable. If the adherence value is below than 20%, then the suspension system is need to be checked, as it is below standard or the condition of the suspension system may be poor for the certain part of the car. This measurement of adherence is measured on the certain part of the car. For instance, the front right wheel of the car. Next, we will look into the value of adherence difference. The adherence difference is compared between the compared between the left side and the right side of the particular axle of the car. For instance, the difference of if the front axle adherence difference between the left side and the right side is 50%, above the 50%, then the adherence difference is considered as excessive, which is a repair may be needed for the suspension system for the front axle of the car. And if the difference of adherence difference is we get below the 15%, then the condition of the suspension system for the axle is considered as acceptable. Next, we will look into the result and discussion for the load distribution parameter, we have a few different conditions here. And then for this condition, we measure the front axle weight, rear axle weight, and the total weight. So, and then we transfer the data, we convert it into the form of column chart. From this column chart, we can see the increasing number of passengers do contribute all mostly to the rear axle weight of the car. The front axle weight do affect with the increasing number of passengers in the car, but it only shows a small difference in increasing the front axle weight. Next, we will look into the load distribution that affects the inherent difference. So from this experiment, we can from this graph we can see the inherent difference do increase with the increasing number of load. But however, the increase of load, the increasing of load did not affect the condition of the suspension system. This uh, this is indicated by this data in which all of the data measured did not exceed the error limit. The error limit is basically the 50% that I have mentioned before, in which the difference of the inherent difference must not be exceed 15%, or it will be considered the suspension system are in a poor condition. So uh, here we can see the increasing of weight do increase the inherent difference of the axle, but did not affect the condition of the suspension system. So next we will look into the tire pressure results. Here we have a few different conditions of the tire pressure. We have severely underinflated, moderate underinflated, optimum inflated, moderate overinflated, and severely overinflated. So from here in the graph, we can see the suspension condition is good when the uh, condition is underinflated or optimum inflated. But however, the suspension condition is poor as when the tire pressure is overinflated. Here we can see we can see the suspension system is in poor condition as it do exceeds the adherence error limit. So uh, the suspension system uh, do affected by the tire pressure setting. So for the next parameter result we will look into in this experiment is the tire weight. So there are two tire size that will be used in this parameter. We have 195, 55, 50, and then another size is 185, 55, R15. So here are the results of the tire weight for tire size 195, 55. So the graph here shows about the inherent difference against the tire weight or the tire size 195/55. We can see the tire is tested for 5 different conditions of the tire pressure. Uh, all of the findings from this experiment shows with the increasing width of the uh, tire width from 185 to 1955 did not really affect the suspension condition of the car. Both of the all of the condition for the tire size 195/55 shows a good suspension condition and does not affect the suspension system, vehicle suspension system. Then we will look into this graph it is about the two different tires is compared on how they affect the inherent difference, also affect the vehicle suspension system. So here we have two different size of tires is tested. It is set in five different condition of tire pressure. We can the graph shows here is about the front tire. Then we can see for tire 19555, all of the conditions of the tire pressure does not affect the suspension system, as it does not exceed the adherence error limit. However, for size 18555, it do affect the condition of the suspension system when the tire pressure settings is at 250 kPa and 270 kPa, which is it is the over inflation tire pressure condition. So here we can see the size 18555 do affect the do give the suspension system a poor condition when it is under over inflation tire pressure. Same goes to the rear tire. Uh, the tire size 18555 do also give or affect the suspension system when the uh, tire pressure setting is overinflation. But however, another thing that I want to highlight here is when the both of the tire pressure for the rear tire is at optimum tire, which is the tire pressure recommended by the manufacturer is to 220 kPa. Both of the tire shows only small amount of inherent difference. So we will jump into the chapter 5 for the conclusion. So as for conclusion, the load distribution findings can be seen as the increasing number of passengers will increase their axle weight drastically. The front axle only shows a small increasing of weight, although the passenger of the car have reached the maximum limit number of passengers. Therefore, we can say that the weight of the car increased mostly at the rear axle of the car. The load distribution, however, do affect the inherent difference of the car, but did not affect the condition of the suspension system. Next, the tire pressure parameter. We set it into the three different conditions, which is over inflation, optimum inflation, and under inflation. The tire pressure shows inherent difference permitted the error limit when the tire pressure is set for overinflated. Both front and the rear tires shows the same outcome when the tires have the excessive amount of tire pressure. So underinflated tire do create a small inherent difference, but the optimum inflation gives a better outcome on the inherent reading. Also, it affects the suspension system. So in brief, the optimum tire pressure is the best setting for the tire, as well as it is also recommended by the tire manufacturer. Next, for the tire width parameter, it shows a different result as the width of the tire is increased in this experiment. The underinflated tire pressure condition gives a slight inherent difference measurement, while the optimum inflation and overinflation shows no effects on the inherent values. We can see this on both front and rear tire for the tire width 19555. So in overall, the increasing of the tire weight shows the good condition of the suspension system when the tire pressure is subjected to the optimum inflation and overinflation. But still, the optimum tire pressure it appears to be the best tire pressure setting for the different tire size. So in conclusion, we can say that the inherent test was done to investigate the effect of the mechanical parameters towards the vehicle suspension system. The outcome of the inherent test can be used to analyze the condition of the vehicle suspension. Mechanical parameters require an ideal or recommended setting in order for the vehicle to perform with a great performability. These are some references that I use for these experiments. And next, that's all from me about the adherence and the vehicle suspension system. Thank you.